from worst job ever to plowing toward vertical integration as a real estate investor. That is a mouthful for a title. But here's the question I want to ask you as a listener. What's the worst job you've ever had? We've all had them, right? And as we're kicking off season 4, I'm going to give you my cell phone number at the end of every episode. But as we're kicking season 4 off here, because I think this is a very important topic, I'm going to give it to you as we're kicking off very first here in the intro. Because if you're thinking about that question, what's the worst job ever? And your answer is very quick and it's very simple. Well, Jay, that's easy. It's the job that I have right now. We need to get you in a different spot. Okay. So I want you to text me 205-249-0248. That's my cell phone. I would say you could call me, but I'm not going to answer if you're not in my phone book. So just text me because we really need to get you in a better spot. And I feel like I can help you out. I've been there and I really just want to help people out. In fact, it was because I hated my job so much. That's what led me to my first investment property. So text me, tell me your worst job ever, and then we'll find a time to get on a call to see if I can help you out. This is episode number 164 of the W2 Capitalist podcast. Jamie, what's the worst job you ever had? I think we got a glimpse of what Jeff's worst job was.
The worst job this is easy. So after college, graduated fall of 2007. Took a little year hiatus, came back and tried to join the real world in the middle of probably the worst economy, at least I've lived through or have been a part of, or even my parents maybe. So, I'm looking for a job and can't find anything. And I take it was the people manager at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yes.
In the St. John's Town Center.
Well, that glove fits, Your Honor.
Yeah. Jacksonville,
so
Florida.
Pretty.
I had always loved Abercrombie or thought I did, wore the clothes, whatever. And did fit until I started working there. And I was in charge of hiring, firing, scheduling, and realized I was dealing with a bunch of kids that had no work ethic and didn't know what morals and ethics were. And I'd have to be there every Sunday morning to do training and interviews and stuff like that. I'd hire 4 new people, and the next week, 2 of them would show up. I made one hire. She was the best hire I ever made, was the best worker, would show up, wanted to work, wanted to be there. And the regional manager came by for a store inspection one day and fired her on the spot because she wasn't attractive enough.
Wow. This is before the whole body shaming thing, I guess.
Told me that she had to work in the back and couldn't be on the floor as a model because we hired models.
Oh, wow.
And if she didn't want to do that, then she didn't need to work here. And a few weeks later, I was gone. We had to walk around and spray that cologne like every 30 minutes. I would leave with a migraine every single day.
I'm sure.
It was just miserable.
I'm sure.
Working 48. They talk you into working 48 hours a week for no overtime for salary. No, I mean, it's still salaried, but it was something stupid, like $12 an hour or something crazy. But that one didn't last very long. It was miserable.
That's a good one. Brody, what about you, man? Worst job?
I can't throw shade at Jamie because I used to work for Calvin Klein.
Yeah,
I've seen your ads.
Yeah,
I've seen your ads. Those are good. You do the brand good.
The underwear model ads.
Yeah.
That's all fake, man. It's just packing. Anyways, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say it was like my worst and my best job. It was right out of college. I was working with Hornblower Marine Services, not Marine Services, Hornblower Events and Cruises. And like I said, it was best and worst. It was best because I'll just give you the worst. I'll give you the bad first. So working like 80 hours a week. Didn't really know what I was getting into. So like it was shipyard management. There was a lot going on. They were building, there's a huge contract, hundreds of millions of dollars to build ferry boats for New York City out of Bayou Battery, Alabama, and Jeanneret, Louisiana. Like just these super high-end aluminum ferry boats, and just there every day working. But I caught glimpses of the owner of the company, and he just seemed like a really cool, easygoing guy. His nickname Man, I hope that doesn't get around because it's like don't say it in front of him, sort of thing. But Uncle Terry, cool Uncle Terry, because he would always hook up everybody. Like he was very generous. I'm sure he was stressed out of his mind running a huge company that was Hornblower, mid-sized company. But that is like what I was like, holy shit, I'm working this fucking hard. Don't get me wrong, it's for cool Uncle Terry, so I don't really mind, but I'm burning myself out, running myself into the dirt, trying to impress folks, move up the ladder, so on and so forth. But what I really want is to figure out how to own a company like this one day because it's fucking cool. Like, to have some sort of operation that like has an economical impact on like an area, like maybe not New York City, but something to improve the area that we live in. It's just like Terry figured this out. I can figure this out. So I started getting into entrepreneurship then, had folks like in the family that were like, dude, like you can do it. You just got to go try something and just take a crack at it. So went and got another job. I started sailing. But anyways, like, yeah, it was a rough job just because it was really hard work. It just didn't seem like it was going anywhere. Wasn't a lot of like direction with it. And it was like, what am I doing here if I'm working this hard? And got nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Whereas like I see also just what a super cool big company looks like. And it was like, how do I figure out how to do this? And that kind of just went into the back files of the brain for a couple of years while I was working as a merchant marine. So yeah, that's the best and worst job, the blessing and the curse, so to speak.
There you go. Cool.
Kind of fired it off.
Brody.
Yeah, that's what I want to be one day. It's cool Uncle Brody.
Soon enough, you're well on your way. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you got brothers and sisters. You do?
No.
Caitlin?
Yes.
Okay, so you could be an uncle.
I could be an uncle.
You can be the funkle.
Yeah, the funkle.
Jeff, I assume, I don't know if you're back or not, Jeff. Did you get your hiney wiped? What happened?
I'm back. I'm just being inundated.
Okay.
You want crybabies? Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm back, but I gotta put crybabies on.
All right.
Can you get your iPad and I'll put crybabies? So was there a question or? Okay, they're leaving me alone now. So
there was. Now I was gonna ask you if being a realtor was your worst job ever. I mean,
I absolutely hated it.
Yeah,
absolutely hated it. Like there was no worse thing in the planet. I like I said, I'm not a salesperson, and even though like once I got the listing, like I could roll with it till closing and be a pro. Ava, can you give me just a second?
No, she can't.
no.
Like once I got the listing, and I always told Trina, I was like, you just need to be the pretty face, like, and you just get the listing and I'll do all the work. But like, yeah, once I got the listing, like I could handle it like a pro. Like there was never anything that didn't go to the closing table. But like that dried up eventually, and so I had to go out and actually like drum up my own business, and I fucking sucked at that. So yeah, and I hated the whole realtor world because I don't like most realtors. I know there's plenty of them I like. There's plenty of them that work their butts off. There's plenty of them that like deserve the respect of being a realtor, but there's so many of them that are just crap. And I used to have to like pretty much do their job for them in order to get to close. Even though we both have always enjoyed real estate, but both of us have hated being actual realtors because it's like you have to sell your soul to become one. So I didn't like that aspect of it. So
become one or become a successful one.
Either or.
I should mention that Caitlin just got her real estate license.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that because she has full access to MLS, and you get a lot more information off that than you do Zillow
PropStream.
or whatever. But like overall, like I fucking hated it. Like, and I'm saying F in front of my kids, you know, like that's
A few
how
times
bad I
now.
hated it.
Yeah.
That's
a couple.
that's how much I hated it. That's how much I hated it is the fact that I was willing to say F 2 times in front of my kids.
In
But
the last 5 minutes. But hey, who's counting? Brody, don't crack on PropStream, man. They're an affiliate.
I was just about to say that as a joke. I'm like, just kidding, PropStream. I know they're listening. Love you guys.
Yeah, they're not listening.
They're not listening.
Yeah, we could talk. There are some good things about that software. There's also some bad stuff. I was looking up property earlier, and I was like, it clearly says in the public. This is my screen over here. I'm looking to the left. This is clearly a triplex, and when I look it up in your system, you're showing as a single family home. I don't get it. So
Yeah, yeah.
they need to do some data scrubbing or intelligent buffer, whatever the phrase is. But I do like the software.
There's pros and cons to every software out there. It's just like pick your poison at this point. I'm going through a lot of that right now in my business. Like,
Well,
but
before we dive into that, Caitlin got her realtor license. What's the plan?
she got her real estate agent's license.
Yeah,
It's blurred. Oh, yeah, you can see
Oh,
her. She's coming in and out.
she passed
Yeah.
the test the first time.
She passed the test and she's going on a few interviews.
No. That's not what I asked. Did she
But yeah,
pass
the first
test
time.
All right, Jamie, did you pass your test the first time?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I did too. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure, you know.
Well, if Jeff did, that just proves it's super easy to do.
I agree. No, I totally agree. Like, I'm not going to argue with it. But I was so excited when I passed it that
Dude, I was ripping on her. I was like, I could pass that thing without even studying. And then I actually like took a practice test. I was like, holy shit, I just failed this thing like really hard. I was like,
there's
I have to
always
study
like,
for this. This is actually fucking tough.
yeah, like I'm a like, even though I'm not like an accomplished student of anything. But if you go to those cram sessions, like if anybody offers a cram session, like just before you take the test, like you got to take that. Like it's night and day as being able to pass.
Well, she passed it, so hopefully we don't have to do any more of those because she was stressed out, but
yeah,
she's much happier now.
It was stressful. It was harder than, and the test was harder than the practice test. But so is she going to try and do that full time?
So no, it's going to be like a side thing. She's still doing the Airbnb co-hosting and management full time, and so she's kind of got like a foot in the door with a couple of places because they've already like worked with them on Airbnbs. So that's like, I'm like, just go to them. Just they want you. Go to them.
There you go.
So that's kind of where she's taken some interviews with some of the folks and the flippers that we worked with, so which is cool. But yeah, it's just to kind of like accentuate capabilities for both of us. Like I provide her leads as a wholesaler, like, and I'm running an absentee campaign in Virginia Beach right now. And this guy's like, oh, it's my second home. I'm like, well, I am an investor. You're a guy who has a house. It's like oil and water. I'm going to give you an offer. You're most likely going to say no, but I still want to help. Have you thought about making money in the off season on your property? What? No. Well, I know this really great person who can do Airbnb management for you and keep your house clean at least 3 times a month. Like, is that something you'd be interested in? Nice. And then boom, it's like, play to the strengths a little bit. So it's been super cool, like unlocking those additional like capabilities and offers, essentially, like multiple ways to make money on a deal, sort of thing.
100%. I actually had a phone call today to that extent, and you guys were all giving me a hard time for all these licenses, but this lady calls me.
What kind of license you got to have to manage an Abercrombie and Fitch?
Oh, wow.
College degree, baby. College degree. I don't know why, but you had to have one. But anyways, it was a lady in the neighborhood found me through some of my rehab stuff, and then saw that I bought houses. She's got older parents. House is just, old, and they're looking to downsize. They don't want to deal with it. Start talking to her, and it's probably not a house that I'm going to buy, $1 million house on a lake in Trustville. Right. And they could just list it and probably sell it for a lot more. Well, that's what I told her. I walked through the process and I was like, listen, we can make a cash offer unless your parents just like want to unload it and just be done with it. I'll be honest, you're probably going to get more on the market, and then I kind of went into my builder's license and agent's license. Is like, if I was acting as your agent, I'd probably tell you just to list it, fix the one bathroom that has major subfloor issues, let people have a blank slate, list it as is. And she's like, oh, you're an agent too? Well, would you want to talk to them about that? And then we got talking, and it's like $1 million house. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
So I'll fix your bathroom and then I'll list it for you,
Do you list that you were an Abercrombie and Fitch model on your resume?
No, that one fell off the resume a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. Right after,
I think
right after Kennel Kid.
You just can't. You just look at him and you can tell.
It makes sense. I've never thought about it. It makes sense.
Is this true, or you're all just giving him crap?
Oh, you missed
while
that?
You were while you were gone wiping Heine. Yeah, Jamie was telling us about his favorite job.
My first real job after college was managing an Abercrombie and Fitch, the people manager.
The front door. Are you serious?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I did miss that. Right.
Yeah,
Well.
walked around in skinny jeans, flip flops, and a tight ass polo all day.
Wait, I do that now.
What?
It's all right. You fit in
awesome.
perfectly.
Yeah, like the Virginia Beach special.
Mm-hmm. Jacksonville too.
That's awesome.
Not too far apart.
Um,
But I think there is opportunity though, Brody, in that to kind of you can still help people even if you aren't buying their house for cash, right? So there's still opportunities to help people get out of whatever situation they're in. It's just really, I mean, like, it's how desperate are they to get out of their house? Like, how much do they really need to get out? So
kind of pick up on how just conversations, what avenue to walk them down, right? If they're like,
right,
man, my parents, they need cash tomorrow. What can you do? And we're like, well, here's what I can do. Or,
right.
Hey, they're looking to offload it because they want to downsize and blah blah blah.
They don't want to deal with the rehab.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they don't want to deal with life most of the time.
Right.
And a lot of them just think that if anybody's approaching them on it, it's, that you're scamming them. And that's fair because there's plenty of people that do that.
Right.
Just how can you convince them that you are, legit and you just want to buy their house and like, you're not trying to like, make their situation worse than it already is.
Well, I don't know if this is the right way to do it or not, but I'll even walk people through, like, especially if I make an offer and they're like, that's crazy. And I'll be like, well, here's how I came up with that offer. So if you list this on the market for whatever, it needs repairs, like how I come up with my numbers is I look at what I think I can sell it for, what it needs in work. You're not paying a commission on top of that. So automatically, whatever you think it would sell for, take 6%, 10% off of that for realtor fees and closing costs. And that's your real number. And then let's work backwards from there. What kind of repairs it needs. And then I have to have a profit in there, and I'll even go as far as be like, most of the time I use money at a higher interest rate to fund these projects. I've got to pay utilities. I got to pay insurance. I got to pay everything for a period of time. There's cost with that. And so that's how I come with my number. I'm not trying to rip you off. This is a business. I have to make money. And that's how the number, comes about. If it doesn't work.
Me for wanting to make money.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
We need real talk. We need like what people are truly living and dealing with, and that's why I always thought, like, most of the time, like when the three of us are on our call, like it's that all the time, right? Yeah. Jamie, right, Brody? Like
just
it's
real
like
life.
It's just real talk. But yet we're all, even though like we're all doing different avenues, like it all kind of streams together, and it's just always been just a cool, like, I've always walked away, feeling better and you know, because like they say you got to hang out with people with similar interests, but I don't know if y'all have a trouble with this where y'all are at, but like I can't find anybody to have a conversation like this in Mobile. And, you know, I'm sure they're here, but maybe I just haven't found them. I've only been here for a few years, but to be able to like, you know, it's a brotherhood here. It's like, you know, we all have our struggles. Everybody has their struggles, and you know, it's just a great place to just shoot the shit and have just normal conversation, like as if we're sitting at a bar having a beer. You know, because I've actually sat with both. Well, I've sat with all of y'all and had a beer, but you know, it's just, you know, just being able to just feel like you're having just, you know, real deal talk after work. And, you know, I think that helps, you know, even though this is kind of a male type situation.
Call it a sausage fest.
It's sausage fest. But either way, like, you know, I always walk away feeling like whether I've helped somebody or whether they've helped me, like I've always felt like good when I walk away from our talks, because it's just kind of just throwing it on the table and let's have a discussion about it.
Yeah, measure up. See who's got the big. No, I'm joking. No, nothing like to be an ass after a heartfelt, like, this is how I'm feeling, and
no, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm with you. I don't, you know, outside of most of the mastermind members, I don't connect with anybody. I don't. I don't. Like I said, I'm perfectly fine with being alone. I joke. I know that, but no, I agree, Jeff. And you know, you said you're not a salesman, but I will give you this: you are one of, if not the main reason we're doing this now, and we're going to at least do several episodes of this, right?
Yeah, because I crammed it down your throat.
Well, I'm just saying.
How do you think I get my deals?
Yeah. When you leave a review, and I hope you do, don't forget to tell us who you are and leave 5 stars. That's from Dirty Jobs Micro. Listen, guys, if you're interested in exploring any of the products or services that I use to make my real estate investing career easier, or you want to explore joining us in the W2 Capitalist community where you can hang out with guys like myself, Brody, Jamie, and Jeff on a routine basis, there's going to be a link somewhere in the description or comments or something like that, wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. But as promised, if you have any questions whatsoever, or you feel like I can help you in anything we talk about here today on this episode or any of the previous episodes, send me a text. I was going to say, give me a call, but chances are, if you're not in my phone book, I'm not going to answer. So send me a text. Let me know what episode you're listening to and how I can potentially help you. We'll find a time to get on a call. Okay. My cell phone number is 205-249-0248.